Hey everybody, it's Dr. Wolf. I'm recording a short video announcement to cover some of the things that we've done in the class so far, like your evaluation survey from the first module and some of your discussion posts and things like that. So I have some fun numbers to show you and a couple of graphs, so let's get to it. The first thing I want to show you is the result of the Module 1 evaluation. I've put a couple of little anonymous evaluations peppered through the course, so I would really appreciate it if y'all would take these when they come available, because they help me get some feedback from you so I can improve this class for um, future offerings and that sort of stuff. So only 16 of you completed the first one, which is fine. Again, it is, it's anonymous and it's also completely optional. I have been teaching online long enough to know that when things are optional, lots of people don't do them. But again, just would love to hit make that number a little higher next time. There's currently 38 of you in the class. So this is a small sample. It says, I feel comfortable in the online course given how it's set up. If I've got one person who said strongly disagree, but I got nothing down here that says why. So not really able to see what that's about, but I've got a lot of the agrees, strongly agrees. If we go into what might improve your comfort level in the course, the things that stick out to me is a lot of you seem to feel comfortable already, which is great. But a couple of you talk about reminders when something is due, or let's see, I saw another one of those, due date reminders, and that sort of thing. I will tell you the reason why the calendar is not on your homepage for this class is because the calendar doesn't update very well. So there's no calendar on your main page. If some of the things that I find more helpful is if you actually download our course calendar and then add checkboxes to it so that you can tell what's due and what's not due, and build yourself your own calendar, because that's going to be much more accurate. So like I've done that here. I've actually printed our course calendar and I've added little check boxes so that I know when to upload things, when to unlock things, when to grade things, that sort of stuff. I find that very helpful. If you're not, a paper person, you're more of a digital person, this whole thing can of course be done. You can set it up in Google Calendar. I also totally recommend setting alarms on your phone for when things are due. I like to set alarms or reminders in my phone, in any of the to-do apps, but also in Google Calendars. I like to set the alarm for when things are due, sometimes a day ahead, to trick myself so that I don't get too far behind. I do this with bills too, so free advice there. All right. The other thing, feedback that I got from our evaluation is this one. I think I would have enjoyed this class more if it was a regular class. The content begs for live discussion. I very much agree. I We have to have these online courses so that our online students um, have enough electives at the same time. I think online education is really important, and that online education really helps those of us who have a lot of balls in the air, a lot of things that we're trying to balance, and stuff like that. I've tried to make some small discussions, some online discussions, to try to make up for that. And as the course goes through, I am going to try to uh, record a couple of brief lectures, and that sort of thing, to try to give you some of that live contact. If you are on campus at all, you are welcome to come by office hours and talk to me about any of the content. You're also welcome to, if office hours don't work for you, to schedule a time. If you go to our homepage, right, here are my office hours and here's my office. But you can just email me to schedule any other kind of face-to-face appointment, or even appointments through Skype, just to chat about stuff. You can also always go to the discussion board and post here in the FAQ area about anything that might be you're kind of struggling with. I'll also probably have some other discussions as we go through that are just about the content, that are also optional but help you kind of talk more to me. Some of the other things that I think are interesting, in your intro post, I asked you, have you ever taken a class in religion before? The vast majority of you said no, right? I've got a sample of 38 here. That's the entire class. I had one no response. I had 11 of you have taken a course. All right, so that's this kind of pinky area here. 11 of you. That's 29% of the class. and 26 of you have not. Okay, that's this bigger green block. That's going to be the vast majority of the class here. So most of you have not taken a course in religion. Again, that's not a problem. We're going to talk a lot about religion the whole semester. That's the whole point, right? Those of you who have, I kind of broke it down into these areas here, kind of the best I could judge by your discussion post, right? And that kind of breaks down to this chart here. So some of you do have some world religion training to some degree. I'm really interested in this anthropology class, this social religion. Those could be really interesting. Some of your classes sound a little more theology based. But again, the vast majority of you have not. 68% have not. Some other neat pieces of information come from our religion pretest that I gave you. This is question 4. Did you take a course in world religions in high school? So again, the vast majority of you didn't take anything in college yet. As we see here, the vast majority also did not take anything in high school. All right. I think that's, again, very interesting. I think that tells me that a lot of you are going to need to pay a lot of attention to these next 2 modules that focus on world religions. This one is the one that makes me a little more encouraged. Have you studied world religions in another context? About half of you say yes there. If I edit this survey, I'd probably say what kind of context would that be, just so I can get some more data on that so better understand your perspectives. I'm used to this being the first course in religion for our students. So this next module that we're on is going to help introduce you to some of the world religions, to help catch some of you who haven't had a course in that, kind of catch some of you up in what are the world religions, what are some of the terms we use when we study world religions, and that way, once you have a background in that, we can start to look at how those religions function in people's lives, because that's really the goal of the psych of religion. It's studying how religion functions in people's lives. So that's it for my brief announcements. I will probably periodically make video announcements as we go through the semester. I find that video announcements help you to not only see my face, get more comfortable with me, but also feel more connected that this is actually a live course that's being run as you take it. Like, I'm actually reading the things that you are posting and I'm responding to them right now, as opposed to kind of shouting out into the void. All right. My hope is to get you a video lecture, or at least a voiceover PowerPoint for the upcoming modules. Again, we don't have any kind of like quizzing and stuff in this class. There is a lot of reading and content, but you don't actually get graded on the content that you're learning until the exam. My hope is also to build you some reading guides for some of the later chapters in the textbook, because I do recognize the textbook is a little dense. There are very few textbooks on the psych of religion available, and I tried to pick one that was at least affordable. So I'm going to try to be updating those things based on what y'all need. I of course don't know if y'all are struggling unless you tell me, and I also don't know what you need and what you think you'd benefit from unless you tell me. So I'm going to develop some reading guides, and I'm going to get you a couple of voiceover PowerPoints and stuff like that. So until then, feel free to hit me up on the FAQ board, send me emails, all of that good stuff. All right, take care.